Track temp is 26.
Yo, what's going on, guys? Hope you're all doing really well. Welcome back to another SuperMayne video, and I'm first of all going to say I'm sorry for spamming lots of iRacing videos. I am just enjoying it so much and getting a little bit obsessed with it, if I'm totally honest with you. Anyway, in this video we are racing in the Global Fanatic Challenge, and this is at Alton Park Circuit in the UK, where I am from. And I'm going to say, first of all, big shout out to all the people that have been commenting on my recent videos. This video I did actually change my FOV, because I've had a lot of people saying, why don't you change your FOV? Your FOV's wrong, your FOV makes me feel sick. So I little look into it. I looked at the iRacing FOV calculator, got my tape measure out, and I measured the width of my screen and where I sit to the screen and all the other bits it asks you to do, and then calculated what the FOV should be. So it has actually gone from about 85 or 90 to now 61 degrees. And actually, like F1 2022, when I played that and I sorted that one out, it has made my racing what I would think is a little bit more consistent. As we are, the lights go green and we go into turn one, and there's already a little bit of a crash as the I took a little bit of a shunt in the first corner, but managed to continue and carry on in the race. Going back to what I was saying, it was changing the FOV has really made a big difference within this game. I've done a couple of races now, this one and the Formula IR racing, and already it has made a massive difference. And with the same with the F1 2022, making the FOV a bit smaller does make a big difference. It gives you a bit of consistency, and I've got to be honest, thank you to everyone who has told me to keep doing it in iRacing, has been pestering me, because I just left it as it was, because I've been learning the game. I thought I'd just leave it alone, but now I've changed it and it's sorted. It ain't gonna be going back, and it's very much more interesting. Sorry, I was going to say something else, but kind of slipped my mind. But yeah, so as we say, we are in or on or at Alton Park. I'm having a nightmare. Alton Park Circuit in the UK, as we've already got another spinner. We had a few spinners early doors in this race. It was quite a challenging race. I never drove. This is the first time I've actually drove these Cadillac CTS VR cars, and I've got to be honest, they're very much like what I would say is a UK touring car. Very good to drive. Sound like they've got like a V8 engine in or something like that. Very powerful. Got a lot of grip as well. All I could do in this one was actually change my brake bias a little bit, which I've made a little bit more to the front, because that's how I like to drive my cars. There's the two players in front of me, I think that was the 4th and 5th, or the 5th and 6th player, have a little tiny spin, and that puts me now into 3rd place. That's the 4th and 5th. And what we found is that I was just driving and having a load of fun, and really consistently just putting in lap time after lap time. I think overall my average lap time was a 1:32 to the leaders. The person who won the race was a 1:30, and my fastest lap of this race was a 1:30.346. I was quite happy, because I've never drove these cars before. As I say, I've edited this video now, so it's not going to be a full-length race. This is just the sort of the highlights of the race, which we have I thought we'd show you, as we have a little tiny spin. We just got a little bit too fast into that corner, and had a little tiny spin, nothing too crazy. I let the cars go. I didn't see the point in driving back on the track, because what I'm trying to do at the minute is keep my I rating as high as possible, and learn the races and learn the tracks, learn the cars. There's no point driving back on the track and ruining someone else's race. So I've just thought I'd leave it as it was. But one of the things I would say with iRacing, and bearing in mind I drive at the moment on a Logitech G920, it actually is not a bad steering wheel to be learning on this game. There are some moments where I think, well, I might do with a different sort of wheel, but at the moment the wheel works fine. It does a good job. I have got obviously a different set of pedals, the MOZA CRP pedals with a load cell in. They are absolutely fantastic in this game. They make a massive difference, so I'm enjoying it. We're going back say, to the FOV. What I found, especially in this game, in this particular car, was that I could judge my cornering a little bit better. I did miss the apex here, but for the majority of the race, I was hitting the apexes. I was getting in and around the corners a lot quicker than what I have done in on previous visits to this track in Mazda MX-5 and cars like that. As I say, I really enjoyed it, and the FOV does make a big difference. So if you do get a chance, get the FOV calculator out. I may make a little video on it for people like myself who are beginning to start their iRacing career. However, as I say, we are now on our way down to chasing back the two players. I think we are sitting about 5th or 6th on lap 5. 25-minute race does make a big difference when you are racing these longer races. You have to be a bit consistent and a bit more consistent on your brakes and on your lines, and try not to make too many mistakes, and don't get as many points on your license. That's what I found a difficult thing to do, because it's quite easy to sort of forget your braking points, overshoot corners and so forth. As I say, we are now back into, I think, 4th place. We've just overtaken, as he had a little bit of a spin, made a little bit of a mistake, as that feeling. As I say, we're now chasing down the 4th or 3rd place person. I think it might be, no, it's a 4th place person. As I say, we'll probably skip forward to where we catch him up a little bit more, as we are now on lap 8 of 16, and we are chasing down the 4th place, 5th place driver. I think this is actually, it's the 5th place. Sorry, I'm getting a bit confused on this. There was lots of action going on all the time. As I say, we're coming up to him now on the hairpin, and we are putting him under pressure, and you can see he's a bit sort of worrying about where I am and what I'm doing. He makes a little mistake, puts a bit too much power down as he comes out the hairpin and spins the car, and away we go. And again, just letting him make his own mistake, do what he's got to do. Now, just concentrate on my own race is what I've been trying to do throughout the whole entire series of this iRacing career so far, as we are now coming up to, I think, the point where the 3rd place player had made a mistake and he goes into the pits, and we're now up into 3rd place, which is quite a nice little bonus, because it just shows a bit of consistency in your driving, and you can make places up quite easily in this game, which is what you want to do if you can. Just worry about your own race, don't worry about what you've got to do or what's happening around you. Just do what you need to do, and then try and avoid the other drivers, because they do make mistakes quite regularly. And say we are now on lap 12 of around 16, the 25-minute time mark, and we are pushing on towards the 2nd place driver, about 11 seconds behind him as it stands at the moment. And I think we actually do get quite a nice little run in, as we are now on to lap 14, a couple of laps on, and the 2nd place driver has actually pulled out a little bit of a gap, but all of a sudden, out of nowhere, the time starts to fall. So, but I think the driver, he must have gone off the track and made a little bit of a mistake. Very easy to do in this game, as I said before, as you see earlier in this race. Just a little spin at the hairpin, and you put yourself out of it. We are now catching the 2nd place driver pretty fast, and it must be a bigger issue. As you can see, lots of smoke coming out the back of his car, and we drive down around the hairpin, down the long straight to the right hander, and time is falling very quick. Lots of smoke bellowing out the back of his car. Not sure what he's actually done, but we are catching him very quickly, and it is only 2 laps to go. We're on lap 15 of 16 into the sort of fastest right hander, which I kept getting a little bit out of shape for, and I kept panicking. The smoke's getting thicker as we're coming down towards the last last part of the lap. This section is where I'm probably the slowest of all, struggling to with the braking zones and carrying the momentum through. Then into the last corner, slow right-hander into second gear. As you see, we have caught second place, and he drove himself into the pits. He's got a big issue. We're now coming into the last couple of laps of the race, depending on what happens here. I think we have maybe 1 or 2 more laps, and I couldn't believe it myself actually that I'm now up to second place, and I've not really drove a great race, but I've drove just a consistent race. And as I said, I was looking at my lap times after the race, which is one of the things I really like to have a little delve into and check what how I drove in the race, and really did just put in consistent 131s to 132s with an odd 133, 134 in the mix there at the earlier stages of the race. But I kept myself calm and just made sure I kept hitting my my braking points. As I got a little bit out of shape here, and I panicked a little bit. So you can see that by the telemetry details, I had to hit the brake a couple more times to slow myself down. And I think it was just the anxiety. I see the back marker coming towards me, and I was thinking, oh, is that the third place man? As the back marker just drives off the track at that sort of average speed right-hander. Let's say we're coming round to the start-finish straight, and we are probably, I believe, going to start the final lap of the race, which we are. There's a white flag on the right. And as I say, the FOV overall has made a big difference already to this, and as I learn to play this game more and get better at this game. And I have actually changed my driving position as well, because I was sitting in the Formula position. I've moved myself back to more of a GT position, so I can do all the different classes. I found this actually a lot more comfortable to do the longer races. I was struggling a little bit in the Formula position to do that. So we've got a lot more of this content coming your way. So thank you very much for liking the streams and liking the content. I do appreciate everybody that gives me the comments as well. And if you have got any more comments or any more tips and tricks for me, then please do put them in the comments below, because your little comments and your little tips and tricks you've been giving me for my iRacing career so far has made a big difference, and I'm loving every moment of it. I don't even really want to play on F1 2022 anymore. Well, I do, but not so much. This is more competitive. There's not as much crashing. People are have a bit more etiquette online. You have the odd accident, but it is what it is. As I say, we come down to the final corner of the lap. Take it nice and easy. I did notice that the person in third had started to catch me a little bit, but I was just trying to keep it close. But as I come across the line, I was really happy with my result. Second place, and I overall got a 0.6 on my license points, with a plus 87 on my my safety rating. So thank you very much for watching. Bye bye for now.